Welcome inside the TD Rinkside Lounge this afternoon. Friends, family, staff, and media in attendance. Thanks everyone for being here today. For those watching outside on our YouTube feed and social media, I'm Reed Duthie, so pleased as always to be here and host a very special press conference this afternoon where we will announce officially the new head coach, the sixth in Brantford Bulldogs franchise history, Michael Babcock. And to get us started, I'm going to pass things over to Bulldogs General Manager Spencer Hyman. Spencer, all yours.
Thanks, Reader. First off, I want to say it's great to see familiar faces here. Great to see some fans. The passion in Brantford obviously is unbelievable. So thank you guys for being here. Thank you to some of our players for being here as well as our staff. Obviously, it's a big day for our organization, so we're really appreciative everyone was here. So good afternoon, everyone, and thank you for being here. Today is a very important day in the future of the Brantford Bulldogs organization. Today, we're proudly introduce our next head coach. From the moment we began this process, our focus was simple: find the right person to lead our players. Not just behind the bench, but in the dressing room, in good moments, in bad moments, in moments of adversity, and in moments that define young men for the rest of their lives. Our players deserve a coach who will challenge them, a coach that's going to believe in them, develop them, and care deeply about them as people. Help them grow both on and off the ice. They deserve someone who will demand excellence while creating an environment built on trust, accountability, passion, purpose, and most importantly, as I've heard you say multiple times, joy. Michael embodies everything we believe in this as an organization. He's a relentless competitor, an outstanding teacher, an exceptional leader of people. He understands that wearing the Bulldog crest comes with significant responsibility. He's committed to helping every player that walks through this door become a better version of themselves. The Brantford Bulldogs have always and will always be more than wins and losses. We're in the business of building and developing championship people, something I've heard Michael say to me multiple times through the last week. We want our players to leave this organization better prepared for hockey, for life, and whatever comes next. Michael shares that vision. To our players, you're the most important people in our organization. Everything we do is for you. And you deserve a coach who will invest in you every single day. He's going to push you, he's going to support you, he's going to hold you accountable, and he's going to stand beside you. He's going to celebrate your success, and he's going to help you grow through adversity. Brantford, the next chapter of Bulldogs hockey begins today. Our expectations remain very high. Our belief in our group has never been stronger. And our commitment to our players and to this community is unwavering. It's my honor and privilege to introduce the sixth head coach in Brantford Bulldogs history. Please join me in welcoming Michael Babcock.
Afternoon, everybody. Thanks for being here. Obviously, media, fans, players, management, everyone means the world to me, to say the least. Thank you, Spencer. Quite the intro, so I'll try to follow that up. But no, I want to take a moment to thank some people. Obviously, I want to thank the Hyman family, so all Stuart, Zach, Spencer, for entrusting me with the opportunity to just compete for the job, and then at the end of the day, allowing me to be the head coach for our team. I'd also like to thank John Sherman, Andrew Schwartz, Jeremy Bluestein, and also the most passionate guy in our organization, Candy. Again, thank you for the opportunity. A couple more people also I'd like to thank too. I'd like to thank not only the Anaheim Duck organization, but also the St. Louis Blues organization. I'd like to thank Pat Verbeek, Rick Patterson, and Doug Armstrong. Just for giving me an opportunity to work in pro hockey. I wouldn't be here without those people, without the countless hours that the coaches allowed me to work with them, the players, staff members in both organizations. They mean the world to me. very, very thankful for all their support too. And then lastly, I'd like to thank my family. I'd like to thank my fiance, Thaisa. She's my whole world. Love her. I'd like to thank both my parents, my siblings as well. And yeah, all the love and support over the years got me here today. And so again, I couldn't be more thrilled to be a part of the Brantford community. Couldn't be more thrilled to be the 6th head coach of the Brantford Bulldogs. And yeah, just looking forward to get going.
We have seen an incredible amount of interest since the announcement was made last week, Michael, and lots of questions that have come in. I know the media in attendance will have questions. We had questions from social media. I wanted to give you one myself coming in, and I know from doing some research and doing the article on your background, you're a hockey lifer. Grew up in the game. While most kids were getting stories of Dr. Seuss, you were getting stories of Ryan Getzlaff and Jean-Sebastian Giguère from your dad. What can we expect for the Brantford Bulldogs under the leadership of Michael Babcock?
Well, I think Spencer alluded to it. Like, we're in the business of winning championships. We're also in the business of building championship people. And so that's going to be my first and foremost focus, making sure that, you know, we're putting a great product on the ice, but also into the community as well. Spencer alluded to it as well. I'm really big on finding joy. So I want to make sure our players come into the rink, they find joy. It should be their sanctuary and their safe place, no question. But I also believe that, again, on the championship people aspect, that we want them to be a part of the community. So I want them to be able to find joy and find escapes away from the rink as well. You know, this is a very formative time in their lives, and we want to make sure that when it's their time to be, you know, lifting the Stanley Cup in 5, 10, 15 years, whatever it is, that a lot of the lessons that they learn here in Brantford will help them into, you know, their lives as professional human beings too.
One of the questions that was asked several times in a number of different ways, but Brent Hurley wanted to know, the Bulldogs have enjoyed a lot of success and support in their first years in Brantford. The city will always support a gritty, heavy-hitting, and hard-working group. Does that fit with your kind of identity for the Bulldogs?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, to me, it's really evident when you watch the playoffs right now, so particularly in the Final Four. There's tons of skill. They all can skate. But there's a work-like mentality to their skill, to everything that they do. And so for me, I'd like to put a product on the ice it's very work-based. We have a very relentless approach in not only our on-ice work, but also our off-ice work, how we take care of our schooling, again, how we attack everything inside and out in the community. But yeah, that's kind of the brand we want to create. We want to make sure that we're relentless in our pursuit, we're owning our development, and then you know, we can make the city proud.
For the first time that we've seen in Brantford a big difference in terms of roster from year to year, Josh Spatafor, and this one directed to both Spencer and to Michael, how are you guys expecting to handle a team that's going to be almost an entire flip over for the roster and still perform to the high level that the fans in Brantford have expected?
Yeah, up to you.
You know what, I'm excited. I'm excited for the challenge. You know, I think anyone that knows me or my family, you know, we love working through an obstacle, okay? And so obviously with this transition from last year to this year, we're graduating a lot of players. And, you know, as I said prior, like the goal of junior hockey is development. It's to move players on to the next level. So we're incredibly proud of all the players that are moving on. In saying that, we're excited about this group. We've got a ton of really good players that we've brought in from other leagues that are ready to make the name for themselves in Ontario. So from my lens, with the new landscape, we can be competitive every year. I promised Brantford that in our opening press conference when we took over the team, and we will deliver. Our team is going to be ready to play. We're going to be prepared, and we're going to be relentless. We're relentless in everything we do, right? How we do anything is how we do everything, and I've heard Bab say that to me multiple times this week as well. So we're really excited about the challenge.
Yeah, and just to echo what Spencer said, I probably should have went first. You took a lot of what I wanted to say. But no, I mean, for me, again, we're going to be extremely detailed in all of our approach. We're going to have a really good camp. We're going to be ready to go from day one. And then whatever noise there is on the outside, it's just what matters in our locker room. That's what our focus will be. We'll keep everybody process-oriented, you know, every day in that regard, and we'll make sure that, you know, we'll just go about our work and we'll see how things shake out.
From Jewel Barton on our social media, Michael, you've worked in the AHL with professional players, you've worked in the NHL with professional players. How will you adapt your coaching approach when leading and developing younger OHL talent?
Yeah, I think it's a fair question. My answer would be that I also worked with a ton of young players in pro hockey, and in terms of where our guys want to go, I imagine those are stops for sure. And so, for me, you take care of the people first. And so, someone told me the other day, they just said make sure that you connect before you correct. I think that's really, really crucial. So I've been in the process of contacting a lot of our players so far, and just trying to get to know them. And I think for me, the hardest thing for myself as a player when I was just to make sure that, you trusted the coach. You wanted to earn his trust, but you also wanted to make sure that you felt that he had your back as well. And so I'm in the process of doing that right now. I'm going to try to earn these guys' trust every single day in our approach, and just making sure that we take care of the person before we take care of the player. And then from there, we think good things will happen on the ice.
I would be remiss if I didn't get to Zach Mitchell's question, one of the biggest Bulldogs fans that we know from social media and inside the building. And you talked about joy, Michael. What is your approach to discipline and keeping players motivated even when things get tough?
Yeah, I think, again, you just got to show people why. And I think the player today, that's the biggest thing, is everybody wants to know why. Why are we doing this? Why is so-and-so getting more ice time? However it is. For me, again, it'll be holding everyone to the standard that we create. No one's above the standard, and it's our job to elevate the standard every single day. I think there's a right way to go about things, and we'll handle all of that internally for sure. But I think the hardest thing for the player to know is that it's not always personal, but it's personal to them. And so that's what the coach has to know too. And so our guidance will come from a place of love. It'll always be for the best interest of the Bulldogs moving forward. And again, we're going to hold everybody to the standard, and that's myself included.
We've got some of our media members. I see the Dogcast guys in the building, and Brian Smiley from the Expositor. So we'll bring the microphone around, and fans, media, please just get a hold of Connor there if you'd like to ask a question. He'll have the microphone. Brian, I think we're going to bring it right over you to start. Nobody better, pal.
Hey, Mike. Brian Smiley from the Expositor. Nice to meet you. Question is, what intrigued you the most about this job?
Well, I think it's just the opportunity. I had the opportunity to, meet Spencer last summer. Just, we had a phone call and just kind of talked about what he was envisioning for this organization. And when you come to Brantford and then you see what all their plans and, how aggressive Spencer is in his approach, it really, really, really excited me, to say the least. And so for me, this is the premier organization in the CHL. I knew that in the interview process, and I just wanted to make sure that I gave myself an opportunity to, be named head coach. And I was very fortunate that I did. The people are the best and the most important thing. Spencer already said it. The players, make everything we do, but the surrounding people around it as well, whether that's the management, the support staff, everything. It couldn't be a better place, for me to start my head coaching career.
Next up for questions, guys from the Dogcast, Colin Reese. Yeah, Colin.
Hey, Michael. Colin Ward from the Dogcast. What's been your first impression with the city of Brantford? I mean, we talked about it earlier. It's a gritty city. What has been your first impression here with the city of Brantford?
You know what? I won't lie to you in terms of seeing everything. I've been to the rink quite a bit. I'm staying at a hotel right now, but I have been here before. I know a couple guys that are from here, and their mentality is exactly what you described the city. So for me, I'm really excited to get ingrained in the community. My fiance and I are really excited to get here and kind of start that process as well. But everything I've heard in terms of our fan base, it sounds absolutely electric, to say the least. And so I know we have the most passionate fans in the league. And so, we're going to work together to make sure that the product we put on the ice gives them something to cheer about.
Spencer, this offseason, you've added a lot of elements to the club already. You got some size in there. Is that kind of one of the priorities for yourself?
Spence, before you answer that, I'll send you the bill for my carpal tunnel for writing. Just so
Yeah, sorry, I kept them a little busy so far. But you know what? Size is important. You need size. But you need hockey players that understand the game. IQ, compete, those are the two things that we look for. There's no question that, players come in all different shapes and sizes. Different players can approach the game in different ways and attack in different ways. But we're looking for the best hockey players. The players that can play into a structure, players that will give us relentless work ethic, and players that will do anything to win and anything for the person next to them. You have to be all in on everything you do, and so we're looking for players with those like-minded traits.
Michael, welcome to Brantford. Reese Dumaney with the Dogcast. You know, along your journey to get here, I'm sure your dad has been a big part of your coaching career, but has anything stuck out to you from some of the coaches that you've worked with or crossed paths with that you really, took to heart or really held on to that you're going to bring in here to Brantford?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm really, really fortunate for all the coaching influence I have. Obviously, I've been able to, live and work with my dad. But whether it's Craig Ruby, Drew Bannister, DJ Smith, Jim Montgomery, Matt McIlvain, and then like Steve Ott, Mike Weber, all these guys that I was able to learn from. And I think the biggest thing I've taken from them, particularly the assistants too, is just the ability to pay it forward. So I know that they looked after me, and so I'm going to make sure I look after my staff too. But yeah, in terms of influence, there's tons. I think as an assistant coach, there's lots of times where you can sit in your chair and you can watch how things go, and maybe you can sit there and say, wow, I really like that. And other times that you're like, okay, if I was in charge, maybe I could do it or handle it a little bit different. But hindsight's 2022. So for me, I'm looking forward to this opportunity. I feel that I'm ready for it, and I definitely wouldn't be here without all the head coaching and assistant coaching influences that I've had and been able to work with.
And Spencer, with the draft upcoming this weekend in Kingston, how much of a priority was it to have your head coach in place for this weekend?
I think when we started the process, the goal was to find the right person. So whether that took, a week or 2 weeks or a month, we wanted to find the right person. Of course, it's a benefit, that we can welcome new players into the organization with our head coach. So I'd say it's a great thing, obviously. It also gives me a different perspective of what I'm going to be looking for in the draft. We're in the process of now going through personnel and how we want to play, and it gives me a greater chance of success in terms of who we're drafting that can relate to how we're going to play.
For our fans in the building, anybody in the back, if you guys would like to ask a question of Mike or Spencer, now would be a great time.
I appreciate it. Thank you. Okay, so Michael, when did you first discover? Okay, sorry.
You're doing amazing, Nikki.
Okay.
Amazing.
Thank you, Spencer.
I love your videos too, I have to say. You got to keep them going. They're amazing.
I'm a big fan of your hat too. I like that.
You do a great job.
Oh, you've watched my videos too, huh?
They're fantastic, bud. Keep them going.
Thank you. Oh, okay, so Michael, when did you first discover the Brantford Bulldogs?
Well, I think, I followed in Hamilton, before they moved, obviously, and then kind of, I just had the ability to talk to Spencer last summer and, talk about his vision for, what he was looking for in terms of things, and it was kind of like a networking thing. And then, it's funny how timing and everything works out too, but no, that was the first time probably that I really knew about the Brantford Bulldogs. Again, I had followed them in Hamilton, but in terms of moving to the city and then just everything that they wanted to do here, that was about a year ago.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah, absolutely.
Michael, you actually worked with a former AHL Bulldog in Steve Ott.
Yeah, I did. And then Claude Julien actually coached the Hamilton Bulldogs too. So Otter and Claude they're tremendous people. They helped me a ton along the way. So I've heard the stories that they had in terms of when they were playing or coaching there, and only said really, really good things.
So that concludes the questions. We do have an opportunity for our media partners to step over to the Bulldogs OHL backdrop on the wall and take a photo of Mike and Spencer as we get set to officially welcome Michael Babcock as the 6th head coach in the history of the Brantford Bulldogs.
Awesome. Good luck, bud. Congratulations.